Let's talk about Nofap. More specifically, let's talk about the benefits that you can actually expect to receive in 30 days. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, Nofap is kind of taking the internet by storm. We've got kids anywhere from age 13 to grown-ass men telling other grown-ass men when and where they should fap. And to be honest, I don't really have too much of a problem with that. However, where I do have a problem is expectations. Expectations are everything. If you start a YouTube channel and you expect to gain 1 million subscribers in a month and then you don't, you're gonna be devastated. But the truth is you were only devastated because you didn't set realistic expectations for yourself. And really, this is no different than when it comes to Nofap. The problem is you see these big YouTubers, people with all these subscribers and all this influence saying things like, if you don't make it to 30 days, all your progress is gone. Everything is ruined, your life is ruined. Or they're saying stuff like benefits, timelines, all this stuff, and saying you're gonna get these Dragon Ball Z like superpowers, you'll be able to fly away. And to be honest, and to be frank, a lot of it's bullshit. My name's Glasgow. I'm a big black man who rides a unicycle. I got a cool dog too. I'm an ex-college athlete, NFL reject, and subscribers to this channel are people who want to achieve more in life and want to unlock their full potential. And in this video, if you just spare me a little bit of your time, I'm going to show you guys exactly what the realistic benefits and expectations are if you do Nofap and you last for 30 days. First off, let me start by saying this. I've seen a few YouTubers say that the whole Nofap benefits timeline thing is stupid. And I completely disagree with this. I'm completely not on track with what they're saying here. And here's why. I think that it's perfectly okay to have reasonable expectations of what you should expect, or go into it with what you should expect in 30 days. If you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So I have no problem with people looking up and doing research and seeing what they should expect if they're gonna take on a journey like Nofap. With that being said, not everyone's timeline is gonna be exactly the same. Also, come here. Yes, come closer to me. Let me set true expectations with you. First off, it is very, very hard to go on Nofap and actually get to 30 days. To be completely honest with you, it is probably going to take you many tries and a long time to actually go all the way to 30 days. And despite what people are saying on the internet, no, all your progress is not nullified if you happen to relapse before the 30 days is up. That's bullshit. The truth is, Nofap takes a long time to master. Hell, I'm not even there yet. But every time you fail at Nofap and you get back up and you learn from those mistakes, you've gotten better. You've improved, and you're gonna hopefully be better the next time you try it. Okay. Now that I'm off my soapbox and I got that out of the way, let's hop into the benefit timeline and some things that you can realistically expect over the next 30 days if you start at Nofap. Now, I'm gonna break this up into weekly chunks because I personally think that is the easiest way to think about this. And if we need to, then we will drill down onto things that you should expect with certain days. But it will mostly be weekly chunks because that's just how I like to go about it. Now, week one, this is going to be a little bit of a rough week for you guys because, let's face it, you've just taken away a really big habit of yours. Like you guys, some of you guys can't go 12 hours without jacking off. It's the first thing you do when you wake up. It's the last thing you do before you go to bed. You guys, you got a little bit of a problem. And so automatically taking that away cold turkey is going to take you some time to adjust. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. And the second part is you're really going to struggle to figure out what to do with all the extra time and energy that you're going to have. It's just a part of the process. So day 1 to 3, this will be the easiest that things get for you. Number one, because your urges won't be that strong because you just started. It was like 1 or 2 days ago that you started. And then 2, you still got that youthful excitement of when you start something new. So you're still gonna be excited. You're still gonna love doing this. The challenges are not gonna be very hard in the first 3 days for you. But we're gonna cover some more going forward. Hold on. Now at this point, you're gonna start to see some urges come back. Now, they're not gonna be completely weak, but they're also not gonna be strong either. By this point, you should have probably already started to figure out what you want to do with that extra time and energy you have. I wouldn't be surprised if you start a new hobby or you start working on an old hobby that you've really been interested in for a long time. Also, at this point, you should really pretty much be over of that guilty, slimy feeling that you used to have when you were fapping 3 times a day and right after lunch. You should really be getting over that. You should start to feel a lot more like yourself, a lot more confident in your own being. Guys, don't pretend like you don't have it. I had that slimy feeling when I was just letting them off all the time. So let's not pretend with each other. Let's just keep it a buck. And at this point, because you're not looking for Alexis, Texas, you're going to be a little bit more in tune with your surroundings. This is going to be the beginning stage of your attraction to females and starting to notice just different females, because you're not going to the computer and seeing her anymore. You're actually going to have to look at your surroundings. And I like this stage. You start to notice a lot more. And then lastly, you're finally going to see that huge boost of energy that a lot of people are always talking about. This is right in the time that it kicks off. And you're also going to see that you got a lot less brain fog and you get a lot more mental clarity during this stage. So day 4 to 7 is really an optimal time. And I encourage you guys to really take advantage of it and enjoy it as well. But all this stuff that's starting to build is really going to help you build up and start a great week 2. I like to define this week as the productivity boost. You settled in a little bit. You're starting to feel more energy. You're starting to have more mental clarity. This is when stuff really kicks in. But this is also the week that you should really start putting more stuff together. At this point, you should be starting to put more of that energy to good use. I would not be shocked if you start going to the gym, if you start making up your bed after you wake up, if you start cleaning up your workspace. I wouldn't be surprised if you start putting energy towards those productive things. You're also going to see that some of the stuff that took you such a long time to complete pre-Nofap, you're going to be getting done with those things in no time now. Your productivity is going to be so crazy. You're going to literally have to ask yourself, like, damn, what the fuck should I be doing right now? Like, what else can I do? It's a good feeling to have. And at this point, I really hope you have a goal, because like, if you have a goal and you have even a half-baked plan, you're going to see that if you work towards that, your productivity is practically going to double during this point. Like, your productivity is going to be way crazier than you ever seen it before. So you want to make sure that you're putting that towards something of good use. Guys, trust me, you don't get productivity like this very often. So this is something that you absolutely need to take advantage of. I ain't playing with. Now, for the other side, the urges will definitely be increased a little bit from week 1. But by this point, you should be at least wearing yourself out with productive activities. Like, you should be doing a lot of stuff to kind of dissipate the extra energy that you have. So the urges should be a lot more controllable. Plus, at this point, you're gonna realize that the benefits you're getting from Nofap at this point far outweigh the cons and the potential of you relapsing. You're gonna be seeing such a heavy boost in productivity. You're gonna be seeing a big boost in focus. And I personally think you're not gonna wanna give that up just for a little hanky panky. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's what you should expect in week 2. It's a good week. For me, week 3 is really where everything kind of hits its peak. For me, week 3 is actually where you should be feeling your absolute best. And don't get me wrong, the urges are still there, but they're there in a little bit of a different way, and we'll discuss soon. But the reason week 3 is really great is because productivity is already in its place. At this point, you should have already made some really good progress towards your goals, and you should be able to look back and be like, damn, I'm proud of the work I've done. I've done a lot. Like, I've done a lot during this time period. This is something I'm proud of. Also, at this point, your habits and routines really should be settled in, which leads to another really great benefit. For me, in week 3 is when I got a huge, and I'm talking huge, boost in creativity. And the reason was, I think it was because my mind was no longer consumed or obsessed with fapping. All my habits were already in place. So at this point, I was already really performing them automatically at this point. So what it did was it allowed my mind a lot more space and opportunity to start thinking about future possibilities, to start thinking about future goals. It was just like my mind had been hit with a crazy amount of ideas and creativity. I mean, seriously, guys, I had an explosion of ideas, whether that was about my goals or creative ways to get to my goals. This is something I hadn't really felt before, and you guys should be excited for this. I mean, I really found myself being like, why haven't I thought of this before? But, you know, like it was tight, because I guess I gave my brain finally some room to like actually explore some different possibilities, and it didn't disappoint. It came up with some great ideas for me. Another thing that you should expect during this time period is really a big increase in your attraction to females. I mean, at this point, you should have already been experiencing, like, noticing the little things in life a lot more. Just the way the wind blows, how the trees are formed, what your dog does. You should have been noticing a lot of little things, but it's really going to take precedence when it comes to women. First off, every girl that you're gonna look at, I mean, with the exceptions of the big girls or whatever, but most girls that you look at, they're going to look dramatically better than they did before. And the truth is, you're going to be noticing all these little things about them. You're going to be noticing everything about these girls. I'm talking about like the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they carry themselves, You're gonna notice all those small details, and I personally think that that's a dope thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, you will absolutely want to bang these girls because, I mean, you haven't busted nut in a long time, okay? You haven't. But you're gonna also want to approach these girls, and when you approach them, and if you approach them, it's not gonna be from a superficial standpoint. It's not gonna be from you just wanting to, like, bust a nut. It's gonna be because you actually notice things about this girl that you like. You're in tune with her. It's gonna be because you actually have a real attraction or interest to her, which is gonna allow you to approach these girls from a different standpoint. You're gonna be standing in a different confidence and have a genuine interest, which is actually going to make you want to, like, talk to this girl a lot more. Also, you'll notice you're gonna have a lot more confidence. You should be able to look a girl in the eyes at this point and really stand firm and stand confident in your masculinity. This is one of the best benefits, I think, in week 3. Like, I was out there spending all types of girl in the coffee shops, and I was just proud of myself for going up and doing it and having the confidence to do that. And as far as urges go, I would say week 3 is when they're the worst, but it's also when you get the best of the benefits. So it's gonna be kind of a hit or miss. To me, I still think it's not worth it to relapse because you're experiencing that productivity, you're experiencing that creativity boost, the confidence boost, you're experiencing a lot of stuff. So it'll be hard to relapse or to give it up because you know maybe some of those benefits might go away if you do relapse. Now, you might think that going into week 4, like, all right, I got this. Everything should be better. Every week, things have gotten increasingly better. So week 4 is going to be the best week yet. Don't think like this. It's a fucking trap. Week 4 is a tough one, and there's no doubt about it. And warning, what I will say will not apply to anyone, but for me particular, this hit me really fucking hard. Now, some people mention the Nofap flatline, and to be honest, I didn't think this was a true thing. But what I found is when I started doing the experiment myself is this is absolutely a true thing. And I don't really know the science and all that shit behind it, but I can tell you that for whatever reason, shit during this week gets a lot harder. I have no idea why. You start to lose motivation. You start to get bored with the habits and routines that you've set for yourself over the last month. You might look down at your shit and your shit just laying dormant. It's just like, yo, are you even down there, bro? I don't know, man. It's just like shit almost just doesn't excite you anymore. It's weird. You also might start getting hints of depression. Your procrastination and laziness is probably gonna come back, which oftentimes leads to your urges, and you're gonna be having a lot of PMO flashes, just where you see little things that maybe trigger you to really want to watch porn. I don't know about like y'all, but for me personally, literally the smallest things would trigger me. It would be an Instagram post. It would be my friend sending me a meme. It could be literally anything. And the first thing I want to do is like porn. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. I just went 3 weeks without really having these urges. But yes, they do get worse, and you do really want to go hard with jacking off on the 4th week. And I don't know why. But for me, week 4 has always been one of the toughest weeks. And I believe it's because your brain is very close to breaking those connections to the addiction that you have to porn. It's so close. But at the same time, your brain wants to literally do the things it's always done. And so it don't want to break out of that habit. And it sure ain't gonna break out of it without a fight. And trust me, this motherfucker is fighting. It really wants you to not get those full 30 days and more because it wants to go back to its old habit. But the main thing I want you guys to know is that this week is temporary. This feeling does go away. So your main focus should be just surviving the Nofap flatline and getting to the next part of the stage. Because guys, don't get me wrong, anybody that can make it 30 days, and if you happen to relapse in this week, that's fine, because anybody that can make it 30 days, they deserve a pat on the back. It ain't easy. And y'all gonna see when you try it. It ain't easy. But if you did it, like, kudos to you, because bro, this stuff is hard. And anybody that can do it, I got mad love for you. But if you can make it to 30 days and you can decide to go past that, I definitely think it's worth it. Because for me, 30 days is when, after 30 days is when it really stops being kind of an experiment or an internet fad or something you're just doing because you saw it on Reddit. But Nofap starts to become more of a lifestyle, more of something that you live and embody versus something that you're doing. And I think that's really where the main benefits that you're looking for, that's where you're going to get them at. Is when it stops becoming a fad, when it stops becoming a little thing on YouTube, but it becomes your lifestyle, and you're going to see those permanent changes in your life. So I encourage you, if you can, go past 30 days. And actually, in another video, I'll explain to you guys the benefits and the timeline for that. But as for now, this was the 30-day benefit timeline. This is realistic. This is what you should expect. But anyway, guys, I hope you found value in this video. And if you did, you know exactly what to do. Go ahead and hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell, join the gang. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. You know what it is. Your boy Glasses out. Peace.